close your eyes now and let yourself relax. Take a deep breath in and out. Tonight, we're going on a gentle journey into the wonderful world of dogs, those faithful companions who have walked beside humanity for thousands upon thousands of years. Let's begin at the very beginning, in a time long before cities or farms, when our ancestors still lived in small groups, hunting and gathering beneath open skies. It was somewhere between 20,000 and 40,000 years ago that an extraordinary friendship began. Wolves, those wild creatures of the forest, started to draw closer to human campfires. Over countless generations, these wolves slowly transformed, becoming the very first dogs. This makes dogs the first animal that humans ever domesticated, long before we thought to keep sheep, or cattle, or even cats. Now, you might wonder what it was about these early dogs that made them so special to our ancestors. Part of the answer lies in something remarkable that happened as wolves became dogs. You see, domestic dogs developed special muscles around their eyes, muscles that wolves don't have. These tiny muscles allow dogs to raise their inner eyebrows, creating those expressive, almost pleading looks that we find so endearing. Those puppy dog eyes aren't just your imagination. They're the result of thousands of years of evolution, a physical adaptation that helps dogs communicate with us in ways that touch our hearts. But the bond between humans and dogs goes even deeper than their expressions. Scientists have discovered something truly fascinating. When you look into your dog's eyes, and your dog looks back at you, both of you experience a release of oxytocin. This is the same hormone that bonds mothers to their babies, the same chemical that makes us feel love and connection. In that simple moment of eye contact, you and your dog are sharing something profoundly special, a neurochemical embrace that crosses the boundary between species. Let's think about the incredible abilities that dogs possess. One of the most astonishing is their sense of smell. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million scent receptors. To put that in perspective, humans have only about 6 million. Imagine experiencing the world not primarily through sight, but through an intricate tapestry of scents, each one telling a story. When your dog sniffs a tree or a patch of grass, they're reading messages left by other dogs, learning who passed by, when they were there, and even how they were feeling. This extraordinary sense of smell allows dogs to detect things we cannot even imagine. They can smell fear, happiness, and sadness in humans through the subtle chemical changes in our bodies. Some dogs can detect cancer in humans with remarkable accuracy, smelling the disease in breath, blood, or urine samples. Others can sense when their diabetic owner's blood sugar is dropping, sometimes even before the person feels any symptoms. These aren't tricks or training alone. These are dogs using their ancient, powerful senses to care for the humans they love. Now, as you continue to relax, breathing slowly and deeply, let's consider the remarkable diversity of dogs. Today, there are more than 340 different dog breeds recognized around the world, from the tiny Chihuahua, which can weigh less than 2 pounds, to the massive English Mastiff, which can weigh over 200 pounds. Dogs come in an astounding variety of shapes and sizes. This makes dogs one of the most physically diverse species on Earth. Think about it. No other animal that belongs to the same species shows such extraordinary variation in appearance. Yet despite all these differences in size and shape, every single dog, from the smallest to the largest, shares the same ancestor, that ancient wolf who first approached a human campfire all those millennia ago. There's something else remarkable about our canine friends. Dogs are one of the few animals that understand pointing. If you point at something, your dog will look in that direction, understanding that you're trying to show them something. This might seem simple, but even our closest relatives, chimpanzees, don't naturally understand this gesture. Puppies as young as 8 weeks old can follow human pointing, suggesting this ability is deeply woven into their nature, part of what makes them such uniquely human-connected animals. And here's something that might surprise you. Dogs dream, just like you do. When you see your dog's paws twitching or hear them making soft sounds while they sleep, they're likely experiencing dreams. Scientists believe that dogs dream about everyday dog activities, running through fields, playing with their favorite toys, or perhaps spending time with you. Their brainwave patterns during sleep are similar to ours, moving through the same stages, including REM sleep, where dreams occur. So as you lie here tonight, drifting peacefully towards sleep, remember that you're part of an ancient story, a friendship that has lasted for tens of thousands of years. Dogs have been beside us through every chapter of human history, adapting, learning, and loving. And in return, we've given them a place by our fires and in our hearts. Let yourself sink deeper now into comfort and rest, knowing that tomorrow we'll continue our journey through the fascinating world of dogs. But for now, simply breathe, relax, and let sleep come naturally. As you continue to rest peacefully, let's drift further into the world of dogs, exploring more of the wonderful mysteries that make them such extraordinary companions. Have you ever noticed how your dog seems to know when you're about to come home, even before they hear your car in the driveway? There's something remarkable about a dog's sense of time. While scientists are still uncovering exactly how it works, dogs appear to have an internal clock that helps them anticipate regular events. They know when it's time for their evening walk, when dinner should arrive, and yes, when you typically return home. Some researchers believe dogs may even perceive the passage of time through the gradual fading of your scent in the house throughout the day. As your smell slowly dissipates, your dog learns to associate that particular level of scent with your imminent return. It's as if they're reading an invisible clock written in the language of smell. Now, let's talk about something you've probably witnessed, but perhaps never fully considered: the way dogs drink water. Unlike humans who can create suction with our mouths, dogs don't have complete cheeks that can seal. So how do they drink? They curl their tongue backward, forming it into a sort of ladle or scoop, and they splash it into the water. As they quickly pull their tongue back, a column of water forms, and they close their jaws at precisely the right moment to capture that water before gravity pulls it back down. It happens so fast, in just a fraction of a second, that it's almost impossible to see with the naked eye. But high-speed cameras have revealed this elegant, splashing technique. It's a little messy, perhaps, but it's perfectly engineered for a dog's unique anatomy. Speaking of the fascinating ways dogs interact with the world, have you ever wondered why dogs have those adorable whiskers on their face? These aren't just decorative. Those whiskers, which scientists call vibrissae, are deeply embedded in your dog's face and are connected to sensitive nerves. They work almost like tiny radar sensors, helping dogs navigate in the dark, sense nearby objects, and even detect subtle changes in air currents. When a dog moves through a narrow space, their whiskers help them judge whether their body can fit through. They're tools of perception, helping your dog understand the world in ways we can barely imagine. Let yourself relax even more deeply now as we consider another beautiful aspect of dogs: their incredible loyalty and their ability to read our emotions. Dogs can recognize human emotions not just from our voices, but from our facial expressions too. Studies have shown that dogs process human faces in a special part of their brain, focusing particularly on the left side of a human face, which tends to express emotions more strongly. When you smile at your dog, they truly understand that you're happy. When you're sad, they recognize that too. And that's why so many dogs will come and rest their head on your lap when you're feeling down. They're not just responding to training. They're genuinely perceiving and responding to your emotional state. Here's something that might amaze you about puppies. When puppies are first born, they're completely helpless. They're born blind, deaf, and unable to regulate their own body temperature. For the first 2 weeks of life, they rely entirely on their mother and their littermates for warmth and survival. But nature has given them one crucial ability from the very start. They can feel warmth and touch. This allows them to snuggle close to their mother and siblings, forming a warm, safe puppy pile. Their eyes open around 2 weeks of age, and their ear canals open shortly after. Imagine experiencing the world for the first time, suddenly able to see light and shadow, suddenly hearing your mother's heartbeat and your siblings' soft sounds. It's a gradual awakening into consciousness, a slow blossoming into the world. Now, as you sink deeper into relaxation, breathing slowly and steadily, let's think about something truly special: the unique nose print of every dog. Just as humans have unique fingerprints, every dog has a nose print that's completely one of a kind. The pattern of ridges and creases on a dog's nose is as distinctive as your own fingerprints. In fact, some organizations use nose prints to identify dogs, the way we might use microchips or ID tags. If you look closely at your dog's nose, you'll see an intricate pattern, a tiny work of art that belongs to them and them alone. Here's another wonderful thing about dogs: their tails tell stories. A dog's tail is an incredibly expressive communication tool. You probably know that a wagging tail usually means a happy dog, but there's more nuance to it than that. Scientists have discovered that when dogs wag their tails more to the right side of their body, they're generally feeling positive emotions like happiness or excitement. When they wag more to the left, they might be feeling anxious or uncertain. The speed and height of the wag matters too. A broad, fast wag with a relaxed body usually signals joy, while a high, stiff wag might indicate alertness or tension. Your dog's tail is like a flag, constantly signaling their emotional state to anyone who knows how to read it. And here's one more fascinating fact to carry with you into your dreams tonight. Dogs have a third eyelid. You might have glimpsed it occasionally when your dog is drowsy or just waking up. A pale, thin membrane that slides across from the inner corner of the eye. This is called the nictitating membrane, and it serves an important purpose. It helps keep the eye moist and protected, sweeping away debris and distributing tears across the eye's surface. It's an extra layer of protection, a built-in shield that helps keep those beautiful, expressive eyes healthy and clear. So rest now peacefully, thinking of all the wonderful, intricate details that make dogs such perfect companions. From their unique nose prints to their communicative tails, from the way they drink water to how they sense our emotions, every aspect of a dog is beautifully designed for connection, for survival, and for love. Let your breathing slow, your body relax completely, and drift gently into peaceful sleep, knowing there are still more wonderful dog stories waiting for you in your dreams. Rest well, sleep deeply, and let the night embrace you softly. As you lie here in the quiet darkness, your body growing heavier and more relaxed with each passing moment, let's continue our peaceful journey through the remarkable world of dogs. There's something truly extraordinary about the bond between working dogs and their human partners. Guide dogs, service dogs, therapy dogs, These remarkable animals perform tasks that seem almost miraculous. But here's something that might surprise you about their abilities. Dogs can be trained to detect seizures before they happen in people with epilepsy, sometimes up to 45 minutes in advance. Scientists aren't entirely certain how they do this, but it's believed that dogs can smell subtle chemical changes in a person's body that occur before a seizure begins. Imagine having that kind of guardian, a companion who can sense danger before it arrives and alert you, giving you precious time to find safety. It's a testament to the deep, almost magical connection between dogs and humans. Now, let's consider something about the way dogs experience temperature. You've probably noticed that your dog's nose is usually cold and wet. There's a reason for this. A dog's nose secretes a thin layer of mucus that helps them absorb scent chemicals from the air. This moisture enhances their already incredible sense of smell, making it even easier for them to detect and identify different scents. But there's another purpose too. That wet nose also helps dogs regulate their body temperature. Unlike humans, who sweat through our skin, dogs only have sweat glands in their paw pads, so they rely on panting and their noses to help cool themselves down. When you see your dog after a walk on a warm day, that cold, wet nose is working hard to help them stay comfortable. Speaking of paws, let's think about those gentle pads that carry your dog through the world. Dog paw pads are remarkable structures. They're tough enough to handle rough terrain, yet sensitive enough to feel texture and temperature. Those pads are made of thick, fatty tissue that provides cushioning and insulation, protecting your dog's feet from hot pavement in summer and cold ground in winter. But here's something truly special. Dogs have scent glands in their paws. When your dog scratches at the ground after doing their business, they're not just being tidy. They're actually marking their territory with scent from those paw glands, leaving an invisible message for other dogs that says, "I was here." It's a form of communication we can't see or smell, but it's vitally important in the secret language of dogs. Now, as your breathing becomes slower and deeper, let's drift into a fascinating aspect of how dogs learn and think. Dogs understand an average of about 165 words and gestures. Some particularly intelligent breeds, like border collies, can learn even more, upward of 250 words or more. There have been famous dogs who learned over 1,000 words, able to identify hundreds of different toys by name. Think about that for a moment. Your dog isn't just responding to the tone of your voice. They're actually understanding specific words, connecting sounds with meanings, just as a young child does. When you say walk or treat or ball, your dog knows exactly what you mean. They're listening, learning, and understanding far more than we sometimes give them credit for. Here's something beautiful about the way dogs show affection. When your dog leans against you, pressing their body into yours, they're not just being lazy or trying to stay warm. This behavior, which trainers sometimes call leaning, is a sign of trust and bonding. In the dog world, physical closeness indicates security and affection. When your dog leans on you, they're saying, "I trust you. I feel safe with you. You are my person." It's one of the purest expressions of love in the canine vocabulary. So the next time your dog presses against your legs or leans on you while you're sitting together, know that it's their way of giving you a hug, of showing you that you belong to each other. Let's think now about something you might have noticed on a quiet walk, the way dogs choose where to do their business. It seems random, doesn't it? But scientists have discovered something remarkable. Dogs prefer to align themselves along the Earth's north-south magnetic axis when they relieve themselves. Yes, you heard that right. Dogs can sense the Earth's magnetic field, and they prefer to orient their bodies in alignment with it when they're in a vulnerable position. This ability, called magnetoreception, is still being studied, but it suggests that dogs have a sixth sense we're only beginning to understand. They're tuned into the planet itself, feeling invisible forces that we cannot perceive. Now, as you sink even deeper into comfort and rest, consider this. Dogs have been to space. In 1957, a dog named Laika became the first animal to orbit the Earth, paving the way for human space exploration. Though her story is bittersweet, it reminds us of the countless ways dogs have served humanity, even in our grandest adventures. Dogs have accompanied explorers to the poles, have worked in wars, have searched through rubble for survivors, have guided the blind, and have comforted the sick. Throughout all of human history's triumphs and struggles, dogs have been there, loyal and true. And here's one more tender fact to carry with you as you drift towards sleep. Puppies are born with the instinct to stay close to their mother and siblings, and they communicate through tiny sounds and movements. But around 3 to 4 weeks of age, something magical happens. They start to play. Play fighting, chasing, tumbling with their brothers and sisters. This isn't just fun, though it certainly looks joyful. Play is how puppies learn crucial social skills, how to communicate with other dogs, how to control the strength of their bite, and how to read body language. Those clumsy, adorable puppy games are actually serious education, preparing them for life as adult dogs. Every playful pounce, every gentle nip, every wagging tail chase is a lesson in being a dog. So rest now, deeply and peacefully. Think of all the dogs throughout history, all the puppies learning to play, all the faithful companions leaning against their beloved humans. The world of dogs is vast and wonderful, full of mysteries and marvels, full of loyalty and love. Let your eyes remain closed, your breathing soft and steady, your mind drifting like a leaf on a gentle stream. There's still more stories to discover, but for now, simply float in this peaceful place. Sleep well, dream sweetly, and let the night hold you gently in its embrace. As you rest here, your body completely relaxed, your mind drifting in that peaceful space between waking and sleeping. Let's continue our gentle exploration of the extraordinary lives of dogs. Have you ever watched a dog running full speed across an open field, ears flying back, tongue lolling with pure joy? There's something magnificent about a dog in motion, and the fastest dogs in the world, greyhounds, can reach speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. That's nearly as fast as a car driving through a neighborhood. For brief moments, when a greyhound runs at full gallop, all 4 of their paws leave the ground at once. They're literally flying through the air. This incredible speed made them valuable hunting companions for thousands of years, able to chase down swift prey across open ground. But today, many retired racing greyhounds make wonderful, gentle pets, content to spend most of their day lounging on a comfortable couch, their racing days behind them, finding peace in a loving home. Now, let's think about something truly ancient and instinctive, the way dogs circle before lying down. You've probably seen this countless times. Your dog walks to their bed, circles once, twice, maybe 3 times, before finally settling down with a satisfied sigh. This behavior goes back to their wild ancestors. Before there were soft dog beds and warm homes, dogs slept outside in grass, leaves, or undergrowth. By circling and pawing at the ground, they would flatten the vegetation, creating a more comfortable spot to rest. They were also checking for any unwanted visitors, insects, snakes, or other creatures that might be hiding in the grass. Even now, thousands of years later, domesticated dogs still perform this ancient ritual, preparing their sleeping spot with the same care their wild ancestors did under the open sky. Here's something wonderful about the way dogs care for each other and for us. Dogs are one of the few animals that will comfort others who are distressed, even if they don't know them. Studies have shown that dogs will approach crying or upset humans, even strangers, and offer comfort through their presence, gentle touches, or by resting their head on the person's lap. This empathy isn't something we've trained into them. It appears to be a natural part of their emotional intelligence. Dogs genuinely care about the emotional well-being of others. In a world that can sometimes feel harsh and cold, dogs remind us of the power of simple kindness and presence. As you breathe slowly and deeply, let's consider the remarkable hearing ability of dogs. Dogs can hear frequencies that are completely inaudible to human ears. While humans can hear sounds up to about 20,000 hertz, dogs can hear sounds as high as 45,000 hertz or even higher. This means there's an entire world of sound that exists around us that only your dog can perceive. High-pitched whistles, the ultrasonic squeaks of small rodents, the tiny sounds of insects, all of this reaches your dog's ears while remaining silent to you. And dogs can also hear sounds from much farther away than we can, detecting noises from 4 times the distance a human can hear. When your dog suddenly perks up their ears and stares at the door before you've heard anything, they're not being mysterious. They're simply hearing the world long before it reaches your ears. Now, here's something that speaks to the incredible adaptability of dogs. Dogs are found on every continent except Antarctica. They've adapted to live in scorching deserts, frozen tundra, tropical rainforests, and bustling cities. From the Australian dingo to the Siberian husky, from street dogs in India to pampered pets in Paris apartments, dogs have found ways to survive and thrive alongside humans in virtually every environment on Earth. This remarkable adaptability is part of what makes them such successful companions. They don't just tolerate our world, they embrace it, finding their place beside us wherever we go. Let's drift now into thinking about a dog's memory. Dogs have both short-term and long-term memory, much like we do. While their short-term memory is relatively brief, lasting only a few minutes, their long-term memory can be surprisingly strong, especially when emotions are involved. Dogs can remember people, places, and experiences for years. A dog might remember a person they met only once if that meeting was particularly positive or negative. They remember the route to the park you visited months ago. They remember which neighbor gives them treats and which one they should be cautious around. And most beautifully, they remember the people they love. Dogs who are reunited with their owners after years apart often recognize them immediately, responding with unmistakable joy. Love, it seems, creates the strongest memories of all. Here's something tender about the way dogs sleep. Dogs spend about 12 to 14 hours a day sleeping, though this varies by age and breed. Puppies and senior dogs tend to sleep even more. But unlike humans, who typically sleep in one long stretch at night, dogs are flexible sleepers. They can nap throughout the day, waking easily if something interesting happens, then falling back asleep just as quickly. This polyphasic sleep pattern comes from their ancestral need to stay alert for danger or opportunities. But when a dog truly trusts their environment and feels completely safe, they enter deep sleep, and that's when you'll see them dreaming, their paws twitching as they chase rabbits through dream meadows, or their lips moving as they dream bark at imaginary friends. And here's one more beautiful fact to carry with you as sleep comes closer. The bond between a dog and their human can actually synchronize heartbeats. Studies have shown that when a person and their dog are together, relaxed and content, their heart rates and breathing patterns can begin to align with each other. It's as if your bodies are communicating on a level deeper than words or even conscious thought, finding harmony together. When you sit quietly with your dog, stroking their soft fur, both of you peaceful and content, you're not just sharing a moment, you're sharing a rhythm, a biological connection that speaks to the profound bond you've created. So let yourself sink deeper now into the gentle arms of sleep. Think of all the dogs sleeping peacefully around the world right now, curled in their beds, circling and settling, dreaming their dog dreams. Think of the incredible journey from ancient wolf to beloved companion, from wild creature to trusted friend. Your breathing is slow and steady now, your body completely at ease, your mind drifting like clouds across a twilight sky. There's still more wonderful stories about dogs waiting for you, but they can wait until tomorrow. Rest now, deeply and completely. Let the night embrace you, and sleep, peaceful sleep, gentle and sweet. As you rest here in complete comfort, your body heavy and relaxed, your breathing slow and rhythmic, let's continue our peaceful journey through the beautiful world of dogs, discovering more of the gentle mysteries that make them so special. There's something remarkable about the way dogs communicate with each other that we rarely stop to consider. When dogs meet for the first time, they often sniff each other, particularly around the rear end. This might seem strange to us, but it's actually a perfectly polite greeting in dog society. Dogs have scent glands near their tails that release pheromones containing information about that dog's age, gender, health, and even their emotional state. In just a few seconds of sniffing, dogs can learn almost everything they need to know about each other. It's like exchanging a business card, a handshake, and a conversation all at once. This chemical communication is so rich and detailed that dogs can even tell what another dog ate for dinner or whether they're feeling anxious or confident. Now, let's think about something you may have witnessed on cold winter days. The way dogs seem unbothered by chilly, whether that would leave us shivering. Dogs have a higher body temperature than humans. While our normal body temperature hovers around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, a dog's normal body temperature is between 101 and 102.5 degrees. This higher internal temperature means that dogs naturally feel warmer than we do, which is part of why they seek out cool floors in summer, and why a winter day that feels freezing to us might feel perfectly comfortable to them. It's also why dogs make such wonderful bed warmers on cold nights. They're like little furnaces, radiating cozy heat. Here's something touching about the relationship between dogs and children. Research has shown that children who grow up with dogs tend to have stronger immune systems and fewer allergies. The exposure to pet dander and the microbes that dogs bring into the home actually helps train a child's immune system, making it more robust and less likely to overreact to harmless substances. But beyond the physical benefits, children with dogs often develop greater empathy, responsibility, and social skills. A dog can be a child's first real friend, a confidant who listens without judgment, a companion in adventures both real and imagined. The bond between a child and their dog is something pure and precious, a friendship that often shapes who that child becomes as they grow. As your mind drifts in that twilight space, hovering between awareness and dreams, consider this. Dogs have been depicted in art for thousands of years. Ancient cave paintings showed dogs hunting alongside humans. Egyptian tombs contain elaborate murals of dogs, sometimes even mummified and buried with their owners to accompany them into the afterlife. Greek and Roman art frequently featured dogs, celebrating their loyalty and courage. Throughout human history, in every culture that has known dogs, we felt compelled to capture their image, to honor them in our art and stories. This tells us something profound. Dogs aren't just useful to us. They're meaningful to us. They touch something deep in the human heart. Now, here's something about the way dogs experience flavor. Dogs have only about 1,700 taste buds, while humans have around 9,000. This means dogs experience taste much less intensely than we do. But interestingly, dogs have special taste buds specifically designed to detect water. These taste buds become more sensitive after eating salty or sugary foods, helping dogs maintain their hydration. So while your dog might seem to eat almost anything without much concern for flavor, they're actually experiencing food quite differently than you do. Their enjoyment comes more from the smell and texture of food than from its taste. This is why a dog's sense of smell is so crucial to their appetite. If they can't smell their food well, they're much less interested in eating it. Let's think now about the way dogs show submission and respect to each other. When a dog rolls over and exposes their belly to another dog or to you, they're displaying one of the most vulnerable postures possible. In the wild, exposing the belly, throat, and vital organs would be incredibly dangerous. So when your dog does this, they're showing ultimate trust and deference. They're saying, "I trust you completely not to hurt me." Sometimes dogs do this during play, and sometimes they do it to show that they acknowledge someone else as the leader or to diffuse tension. But always, it's a gesture of vulnerability and trust. When your dog rolls over for belly rubs, they're not just asking for affection. They're showing you how much they trust you with their safety. Here's something that might surprise you about dogs and their sense of time. Dogs can tell the difference between 1 hour and 5 hours, showing that they have some awareness of time's passage. But their experience of time is likely very different from ours. Dogs live much more in the present moment than humans do. They're not worrying about tomorrow's schedule or replaying yesterday's events in their minds. When you return home after being gone for 8 hours, your dog's exuberant greeting isn't because they've been counting the minutes. It's because they're experiencing pure joy in this present moment of reunion. Every time you come home, it's the best moment of their day, uncomplicated by past or future. There's something we can learn from this, the gift of being fully present, fully engaged in the now. And here's one more tender truth about dogs to carry you deeper into rest. Dogs grieve. When a dog loses a companion, whether another dog or a human they loved, they show signs of grief remarkably similar to human mourning. They may search for their lost friend, become less active, eat less, sleep more, or seem withdrawn. Some dogs will lie by the door waiting, or sleep on the bed or in the spot where their friend used to rest. This grief can last for weeks or even months. It reminds us that dogs don't just live alongside us, they love us. Their emotions run deep and true. When we welcome a dog into our lives, we're not just gaining a pet, we're entering into a relationship of genuine mutual affection, one that touches both our lives and theirs in profound ways. So rest now, gently and peacefully. Think of all the dogs throughout time who have loved and been loved, who have trusted and been trusted, who have given their loyalty freely and completely. The world is full of such quiet, faithful love. Your breathing is soft as a whisper now, your body melting into perfect comfort, your thoughts drifting like dandelion seeds on a summer breeze. There's still a few more beautiful truths about dogs waiting for you. But they can wait, for now. Just float in this peaceful darkness. Sleep deeply, dream gently, and let the kindness of the world, embodied in every loyal dog, watch over your rest tonight. As you lie here in the deepening quiet, your body sinking further into rest with each gentle breath, let's explore the final beautiful truths about our canine companions, those faithful friends who have walked beside us through countless generations. There's something magical about a dog's coat, the way it protects them and keeps them comfortable in so many different conditions. Dogs have two types of coats, a top coat made of guard hairs that protect against water and dirt, and an undercoat of soft, dense fur that provides insulation. This is why many dogs shed so heavily in spring. They're losing their thick winter undercoat that they no longer need as the weather warms. Some breeds, like poodles and Portuguese water dogs, have hair instead of fur. The difference is subtle but important. Hair grows continuously and sheds very little, which is why these breeds are often better for people with allergies. But whether fur or hair, a dog's coat is a marvel of natural engineering, keeping them warm in winter, cool in summer, and dry in the rain. Now, let's consider something truly extraordinary about a dog's heart. A large dog's heart beats about 60 to 100 times per minute when they're resting, while a small dog's heart might beat 100 to 140 times per minute. Your own heart, at rest, probably beats between 60 and 100 times per minute. So in a way, your heart and your dog's heart are beating at similar rhythms, especially if you have a larger dog. But here's what's truly remarkable. A dog's heart, proportionally, is similar to a human heart in structure and function. When veterinarians study heart conditions, they often use findings from human medicine and vice versa. Our hearts, yours and your dog's, are built on the same ancient blueprint, pumping life through your bodies in the same steady, faithful rhythm. Here's something that speaks to the incredible working partnership between dogs and humans. Dogs can be trained to detect dozens of different scents for important work. Beyond the well-known police dogs who detect drugs or explosives, there are dogs trained to find lost people in wilderness areas, dogs who can detect certain types of cancer with astounding accuracy, dogs who can smell when crops are diseased, dogs who can find bed bugs in hotels, dogs who can detect when dairy products are spoiled, and even dogs trained to find valuable truffles buried deep underground. Each of these dogs is performing a task that would require expensive equipment or be simply impossible for humans to do as quickly or accurately. They're not just pets or companions. They're highly skilled professionals, using their incredible senses to make the world safer, healthier, and better. As your breathing becomes slower still, barely a whisper of air moving in and out, let's think about the way dogs keep themselves clean. You've probably noticed your dog licking their paws or grooming themselves. While dogs aren't as fastidious as cats about cleanliness, they do engage in self-grooming behaviors. When a dog licks a wound, their saliva actually contains antibacterial properties that can help with minor healing. This is why dogs instinctively lick their injuries. They're applying nature's first aid. Of course, excessive licking can cause problems, but in moderation, this grooming behavior is part of a dog's natural health maintenance. They're taking care of themselves, just as they take care of those they love. Here's something beautiful about the diversity within the dog world. The smallest dog breed, the Chihuahua, can weigh as little as 2 pounds when fully grown. The largest breed, the English Mastiff, can weigh over 200 pounds. Think about that extraordinary range. The largest dogs weigh 100 times more than the smallest. And yet, genetically, they're the same species. A Chihuahua and a Mastiff could theoretically produce offspring together, though this would require artificial assistance due to the size difference. This incredible diversity exists nowhere else in the animal kingdom to such an extreme degree. From the tiny to the massive, from the sleek to the fluffy, from the calm to the energetic, dogs come in a breathtaking array of forms, each one perfectly suited to different roles, different environments, and different human needs. Now, as you hover in that space between waking and sleeping, consider this tender fact. Dogs smile, not in the same way humans do, but they do have an expression that serves the same purpose. When a dog is relaxed and happy, they'll often open their mouth slightly, let their tongue loll out a bit, and their eyes soften. This is sometimes called a submissive grin or a play face, and it's a dog's way of showing contentment and friendliness. Some dogs even seem to learn to mimic human smiles, pulling their lips back to show their teeth in what looks remarkably like a grin when they're happy to see you. Whether it's learned or instinctive, when a dog smiles at you, they're expressing joy, and that joy is real and true. Here's something that shows just how long dogs have been part of human civilization. The ancient Basenji breed, which originated in Africa, is one of the oldest dog breeds in existence, with evidence of similar dogs dating back thousands of years to ancient Egypt. These dogs have a unique characteristic. They don't bark in the traditional way. Instead, they make a sound called a barrow, which is something between a yodel and a howl. This ancient breed reminds us that dogs have been specialized for different purposes for millennia, each breed developing unique traits and characteristics. The Basenji, with its ancient lineage and distinctive voice, is a living connection to the earliest days of the human-dog bond. And here's our final fact, number 49, to carry with you into your dreams. Every dog, regardless of breed, age, or size, needs love. Studies have consistently shown that dogs who receive regular affection, attention, and positive interaction with their humans are healthier, happier, and live longer lives. A dog who is loved and cared for develops lower stress hormones, stronger immune function, and better behavior. But the beautiful thing is, this goes both ways. Humans who love and care for dogs also experience these same benefits: lower blood pressure, reduced stress, improved mood, and a greater sense of purpose. The love between a dog and their human isn't just emotional, it's biological, chemical, and profoundly healing for both. And so we've journeyed together through these 50 wonderful truths about dogs. From their ancient origins to their modern roles, from their incredible senses to their tender hearts, from their remarkable abilities to their simple need for love. Dogs are woven into the fabric of human life, and we are better for it. Let yourself drift now, completely and utterly relaxed. Your mind is quiet, your body is at peace, and all around you is gentle darkness and safety. Tomorrow will bring new days, new moments with dogs you know or dogs you'll meet. But for now, just sleep deeply and peacefully, wrapped in the warmth of knowing that in this world, there are creatures who love us without condition, who greet us with joy, who ask for so little and give so much. Rest now, dream sweetly, and good night.